Joanne Castle could light up any room she walked into. The moment her hands touched those piano keys, something electric happened, the kind of energy that made audiences forget everything else and just feel the music. But here's the thing about Joanne Castle. The woman who spent decades bringing pure joy to millions of American living rooms was quietly carrying a weight that television cameras never captured. Born on September 3, 1939, in Bakersfield, California, Joanne grew up in a working-class household shaped by discipline and quiet determination. Her father worked for the Santa Fe Railroad, and her mother had once been a Harvey girl, part of a network of women known for their poise and professionalism in restaurants along America's rail lines. From the very beginning, Joanne was surrounded by people who believed in showing up and doing the job right. By the time she was 3 years old, she was already singing and performing at local community events, earning applause before she'd even started school. Piano lessons came early, and so did a significant crossroads. When the family could no longer afford both dance and music lessons, music won. That quiet, practical decision ended up defining her entire life. Her father also placed a copy of Scott Joplin's Maple Leaf Rag in her hands around age 10, a piece she reportedly struggled with at first, but relentless practice turned it into the foundation of something extraordinary. She later performed under the stage name Joanne Castle, a name borrowed from the accordion brand she used during her early Las Vegas performances, where she was working professionally before she was even old enough to legally be inside a casino. Her mother had to accompany her to shows pretending to be her sister. She sent a demo to the Lawrence Welk Show in the late 1950s, and it changed everything. When she finally joined the program, she brought something nobody else on that stage could offer: a raw, physical, almost unstoppable energy. She played ragtime and honky-tonk, like her whole body was part of the instrument, feet stamping, shoulders rocking, the piano bench shaking with every rhythm. Lawrence Welk himself eventually called her the Queen of the Honky-Tonk Piano, and the title stuck. For nearly a decade, she was one of the most recognized faces on American television. But behind the cameras, life was far more complicated. She married and divorced twice before the 1970s. Her first daughter, Diana, was born with cerebral palsy and serious developmental challenges. And according to accounts Joanne shared in later years, Diana's death as a teenager was the deepest loss of her life. A third marriage, she later described, became one of the most painful chapters she ever lived through, marked by serious abuse, a prolonged personal crisis, and significant financial hardship that at one point left her living on her sister's sofa in Arkansas. She eventually left the Lawrence Welk Show in 1969, after nearly 10 years, searching for something beyond the single image the show had built around her. The decades that followed were quieter: smaller stages, nostalgia tours, a surprising chart success in Australia in 1983, and eventually a home base in Branson, Missouri, performing for audiences who had grown up loving her. Stability finally came late in life, when she married jazz musician Lynn Viviano in 2011. Joanne Castle passed away on May 8, 2026, at the age of 86. She didn't revolutionize music or top the charts. What she left behind was something rarer: the memory of a woman who could transform a television studio into something that felt alive, messy, and completely human. If her story moved you, give this video a like and subscribe so you never miss stories like hers.